Kia ora tātou, welcome back to the Wargaming Den. It's been a wee while since my last battle report. Haven't done a great deal of gaming in the last month or so, but this week Gordon and I finally got together for another game of Kings of War. Getting towards the end of 3.5, they're gearing up for the new version, which we'll probably end up playing when it comes out. But in the meantime, I've got a game here of my Ogres versus newly finished basing Twilight Kin army, 2,300 points. The mission today is Salt the Earth. Let's have a look at the Ogres. Here we have my Ogre army. I've been using this for the last 2 or 3 games really. So I've got a horde of hunters, horde of boomers, 2 hordes of warriors, they're nice and solid, a horde of siege breakers with the blood of the old king, which gives them elite and vicious for 1 turn, 2 troops of goblin scouts. I'm still getting the hang of how to use these, but can start to see the possibilities with them after using them badly for a long time. I have a crocodile wrangler to deal with individuals, red goblin slasher, which I really quite like using, and I've given them the war trumpets this time and added a boomer sergeant, berserker bully with the blade of slashing is my only other magic item, 2 warlocks with drain life 5 and lightning bolt 3, and an ogre warlord on a chariot, which is something that Mark used a couple of years back and has quite a lot of respect for, so I thought I would give him a bit of a go. Right, let's now turn our attention to the Twilight Kin army that Gordon's come up with. He's got 4 regiments of the Void Walkers, and they all have snare nets which give entangle, and also blood hex, so his defense can increase for 1 turn, I think it is. He's also got 4 regiments of the Fleet Wardens. They've got blood hex as well, veterans of the Celestial War. I think that gives them, oh, they've got phalanx. What, I wonder what that gives them. Not sure, have to check. It's got a Mind Screech with heal today, navigator with the loot for Bane Chant, 2 void captains for inspiring and combat support, a summoner crone with hex and weakness. He's got Lithial Bleakheart, who's got Bane Chant, Enthrall and Wind Blast, and they also do damage, I think. Soulbane on Nightmare, and a captain on the Void Skiff who's been upgraded to the Vice Admiral, and has Thunderous Charge 2, very inspiring, and Headstrong Aura for Twilight Kin. So he's got quite a few things that can give auras as well. So lots of parts to his army that can synergize quite well together, but it's a bit beyond me, so I just try and kill anything in front of me really. Let's have a look at deployment. Mission is Salt the Earth, so there are 7 objectives scattered about the table. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one down here, another one back there. They can be burned. Gordon's got Void Walkers, Fleet Wardens, Void Workers, Fleet Wardens. So he's using his infantry regiments and little combat teams. So the Void Walkers give phalanx, Fleet Wardens give entangle. So those 2 combinations, double charging where he can, give a real nice synergy to each other. And he's got 4 of those pairs of combat groups. So there, across his front line. He's got a Soulbane to try and whiz around the flank, Void Captain with some inspiring. The guy on the skiff at the back there, that's his Mind Screech, which has got heal, so he'll be healing up wounds. I think that's Lithial Bleakheart there, Summoner Crone with hex and weakness, the other Void Captain. He's got a couple of weakness spells he can cast. I think he can also Wind Blast or as well, and the weakness and the Wind Blast spells I think also can do damage. So yeah, so quite nice. So the army hasn't got a lot of hitting power, but by adding auras from the various heroes and the spell support, it actually is a very interesting army to face as well. So my army, typically my ogres, I try and deploy on half the table or thereabouts. I've got the slasher, and it's got the war trumpets this time, so 12-inch range on those. Warlord on a chariot beside him. Siege breakers, good old favourite heavy hitters. Scouts behind them, the goblin scouts, 10-inch charge range. Warriors, then a warlock, then the boomers, then a warlock, then the warriors. Trying to maximise. I haven't got a lot of units in this army to power up my warlocks, fireball, and drain life. So they're trying to stick with those units. Then I've got the berserker bully and the hunters in the woods there as well. So let's move on to turn one. Just a nice top-down view before we start. So for me, I've got 2 objectives already in or on my deployment zone. There's one there. There's another one back there. So I've got 2. I need to get 2 more. So I'm really only going to concentrate on grabbing these 2. I don't care what Gordon does if he grabs this one. And those 2, I'm really not going to stomp my way across and try and deal with. I'm just trying to advance to grab these ones. A 4-3 win is still a win. So that's what I'm aiming for. Gordon's there, Twilight Kin?
Yes.
All finished with his new basing. Looking cool. Against the Ogres, which look familiar. Mission we're playing is Salt the Earth. So objectives here, 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 one down there, one under those goblins there, and there's another one about under those goblins there as well. Not a great deal of action on turn 1. I took a couple of wounds from weakness spells, I think. There's a couple of wounds on the boomers there. I gave Gordon the first turn, and he just advanced in a big line. There's maybe 3 or 4 wounds there from lightning bolts, but they get immediately healed off in the next turn. So I just really advanced onto the edge of the hill there with my siege breakers and warriors, boomers getting close. Threw out the boomer sergeant. I really do like boomer sergeants. They are a very versatile little piece that looks like part of my warrior horde there, and the hunters are just staying back there. The other thing I did forget is I've got a crocodile, and he's tucked in behind those warriors there at this stage. So yeah, not a great deal of action turn 1.
Token on.
Turn 2, Gordon has advanced backwards over there, cast a couple of spells, weakness on my boomer sergeant, and he did a wind blast 5 on my warlord and did 3 wounds on him.
Wind blast 7, going about 5 inches.
Yep. Yeah, wind blast 7, moved him back 5 and 3 wounds. So on to my turn 2. Turn 2, Ogres. 3 wounds on those guys. I was a bit below average with my shooting and lightning bolts, and didn't do anything. And then over here I think I got them up to 5 and wavered them, shooting from the boomer sergeant, and the boomers was the shooting there. So on to turn 3 for Gordon. Okay, and so just a top-down shot, so a bit clearer. So I'm putting pressure on this area. Gordon's retreated a wee bit, so I'll push forward. That's where I've wavered the ensnaring fleet wardens, and my boomer sergeant has been weakened. The soul bane is just lurking out of sight here. He's able to hit here. I think Gordon though has headstrong on these guys, and in his turn, I think the next turn, I think he manages to charge with them as well. So just a bit of sparring on turn 1 and 2. nothing major happened so far. Right, I had to take this photo. Started turn 3. Gordon has charged in with his Void Lurkers and Void Watchers. I think those ones are called Fleet Wardens and Void Watchers, I think they are. But he's charged into the Hunters, he forgot they had ensnaring, so he's charging into terrain and facing ensnaring. So not the usual kind of mistake Gordon makes, but I was very happy to see that combination because I didn't think I was going to take too much damage. Double charge in here against the Boomer Sergeant, and also, as you can see, another of the double combination charging in at the Boomers there with the Fleet Wardens and the Void Watchers. I will get those names right eventually. The other thing that Gordon has got is he's got that blood hex thing, and he keeps forgetting to use it. It increases his defense by 1. But that's just him getting used to this new army. He will get there eventually with it. Gordon's turn 3. He charged in here forgetting that I had ensnaring as well. Did 5 wounds on my Hunters, and then over here on my Boomers he charged through the woods, another 5 wounds with again his ensnaring unit and phalanx unit. Over here his guy on the Soul Flayer, Nightmare thing, and those guys killed my Boomer Sergeant. So on to my turn 3. And just before we do move on to my turn 3, so as you can see here, yes, not successful against the Hunters, bit unlucky against the Boomers, really only putting 5 wounds on them. But as you can see, he's refused this flank here, waiting for me to come at him. He's got his Mind Screech that's healing up. That I think is Lathiel as well, and the Skiffs come over as well. So we are locking horns on this flank and not much action on the other flank as of yet. You can see down here, the last turn I didn't know what to do with him, so my Goblin Scouts went charging around this way. The thoughts being to try and swing around and get him behind, but we'll see whether or not I continue with that plan. Okay, the Ogre combats didn't quite go to plan here. I put 7 wounds on them, didn't do anything, so I'm in trouble with the flank. Over here, Gordon forgot he had his blood hex thing on, and I did 11 wounds and wavered, I think.
We remembered it on that one, we forgot it on that one.
And then I did about 11 wounds and rolled a 3, so I did nothing against them. Did I waver these guys over here? 9 wounds?
They're wavered. There's a thing there. Yep. They're wavered.
And they're wavered. So didn't actually kill anything. So Gordon's turn 4. He's got some juicy flanks potentially. Okay, and this was probably a bit of a hopeful charge, really. 10 attacks plus 7 attacks against the unit that has ensnaring. So the odds were I weren't going to kill it anyway, and I didn't. And that means that my slashers flanks are exposed, and so is the warlord. So a bit impetuous by me there. Things are locked up here. You can see the number of wounds I've got. I think I just said in that overview that I wavered both of those units. 9 wounds on there, or at least wavered those ones at least. And I think that's another wavered unit there as well. So didn't kill anything, but wavers are always good. But I think Gordon has headstrong, so is able to mitigate that to a degree. And this doesn't look good, flanking the warlord and also flanking the slasher. And I think he's thrown in a void captain as well, as there's another unit of ensnaring guys there. So these 2 units of mine are in a spot of bother. But as you can see here, got 11 wounds there and 11 wounds there on those 2 units. So I was hoping that they were going to die last turn. And here we go. Gordon's charging in at the hunters. He's got a flank attack on the warriors there. He's weakened the other warriors, and he is also able to potentially attack both of these guys.
Brutal lot of combats. I just lost the warlord in here. The slasher survived, but over here I got very lucky. The boomers survived. I lost the hunters, and these guys on 10 wounds also survived. Gordon rolled lots of 3s and 4s for nerve checks, and some of them were enough with dread, some of them weren't. So see if I can pull anything back, but so far I don't think I've killed anything.
Just a quick overview of at the end of that turn. So what do we got here? We've got the slasher being surrounded. We've got the weakened warriors. Those guys were lucky to survive on 9 wounds. Those guys were also weakened, the other warriors, and are up to 10 wounds. Hunters are gone. So Gordon has kind of started to make a big hole on my far right flank, which I'm going to have to figure out a way to plug.
All 3 of you?
Yeah, I double one
There,
here,
and I know you double one there.
and then I double one here, and I double one
you double one
here
as
well. So 3 double ones that turn. The ogres are a bit scared of the Twilight kin. I was hoping to kill another unit or 2. I got 1, maybe 2, on to turn 5, but Gordon is going to have to go fast. Turn 5.
Yes, 3 double ones in 1 turn. The slasher double one, then these warriors double one those guys who were on 12 or 13 wounds. Far from ideal. And then almost immediately the bully double one these guys who were also on 12 wounds. So bit of a disastrous turn from the ogres. 3 double ones in 1 turn. I don't think I've ever done that before. So the siege breakers had destroyed their target. The warlocks have been adding drain life over here, taking down the wounds a little bit, and that's the unit that the slasher turned to face. Got it up to 11. It also had the crocodile wrangler, though he was hindered. So they did 11 wounds there. Didn't kill it. The idea was to kill him, turn to face those guys. Didn't happen, unfortunately. Double one there, double one over there. So not exactly ideal, but these guys aren't going to be able to get round. These guys, 10 wounds, they are facing the right way now, though. So could be worse, I guess, would be one way to describe it. I've also got the 2 scouts down here. Both are grabbing objectives at this stage.
Gordon's turn. He killed the warriors in here. He just killed the boomers. He got very unlucky. It was a double one against my...
No, it was just a really low roll.
No, he ended up rolling a 3 and wavering me rather than killing my slasher. And so he's punched a big hole, but I've got a chance to try and kill some stuff.
This was extremely unlucky. I think Gordon rolled a 4 for a nerve check, and then the re-roll was a 3. My nerve is 16, 18. So it must have been a 3 on the overall nerve check to waver this guy. I think he must have been wavered, but he had triple attacks there, had the Void Captain and also those guys there. So really, he should have completely destroyed me. I think the Void Captain hit with 5 attacks, needing 4s to wound, and didn't cause a single wound, and 1 more wound and I was toast. So very unlucky there for Gordon. But the last couple of turns, his nerve rolls have really let him down. I don't think he's got over a 5. And just a bit of an overview. So there's the slasher that should have died. I got wind blasted back with the siege breakers, which put them actually on the objective. Wind blast is annoying. They've been weakened again. Things are a bit gunked up in here, and the bully is holding those guys there. So interesting. But I think actually Gordon has just run out of time as well on the clock, so he's not going to get a turn 6. So I've got potentially 2 turns to grab some more objectives. I've got 2. Gordon's got that one. No, I've got 3. Gordon's got that one over there. But if I can kill these 2 guys, there's no way that he's going to be able to come back and contest. His Mind Screech would have gone across there next turn and grabbed that one easy enough. Okay, so my turn 5. Ogres, so Siege Breakers advanced. They've got that one covered. Didn't do much over here. May have done a wound or so, but those guys have been healed back quite a bit as well by Lathiel or the Mind Screech. The Mind Screech has healed 7 and it's been getting 4 to 5 heal each time it's been used, so it's been very handy. But what I have done is I've destroyed those 2 infantry units in there. My warriors have got a nerve unit strength of 3, so he's got a 1 or a 2, so I've got that one. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. The bully has killed 1 regiment there as well. So even without moving on to turn 6, the game is mine now. Right, so turn 6, Gordon's run out of clock, so there was not much point doing a turn 6 because I'd done everything I could in turn 5. These scouts here have an objective. The other Red Goblin scouts have an objective. I am controlling that objective there. I don't think they're close enough. And I've also got that objective there. Gordon is controlling that one there. So bit unfortunate that he ran out of time. Gordon's struggling a wee bit with time. We're going to increase it at present. He's got a few things going on and just needs a bit more time. And this new army of his, it's got a lot of moving parts and synergies and needs a lot of combining the various groupings together. So once he gets more familiar with it, it'll speed up again, no doubt. But at present, it's just struggling in the time frame that we have allowed. So if he had had an extra turn, he still had a couple of units back here and would have rolled through this way, and it would have been much closer. So very unfortunate. This was kind of pivotal. My slasher, he had the guys with the spears in the front. He had a captain and also someone else coming in from the flank. He should have gone down and didn't, and that left his unit exposed to that flank charge from the siege breakers. But that's just the way it goes sometimes in Kings of War. You know, double ones or low nerve checks sometimes happen and they throw your plans a bit astray, and that's one of the beauties of the game. And overall it swings both ways. Turn 4 I think it was, where I rolled 3 double ones on nerve checks, was a bit I've never done that before. 3 in the one turn was a bit crazy, but managed to weather that anyway. So Gordon's basing is all finished now and the army looks great. It's very different to any other army I've seen, and it's definitely an army that requires getting things set up properly. It's a bit of a finesse army, so something that Gordon really enjoys though is those style armies, whereas I'm just, ogres, orcs, things that can stomp forward and bash, keep me happy, where I don't have to overthink or put too many different synergies together. But anyway, enough rambling. That's all for this little battle report. First one in a while. Hopefully we'll have another game soon. But until next time, take care. Ka kite anō.